Hi everyone, I am producing this video to assist any of you who may be having trouble with the censor, or the filter as it is more commonly known on Club Penguin Rewritten. Now for those of you who aren't aware, the filter is a system that has been around since basically as long as Club Penguin's been alive, because obviously Club Penguin is a living entity that's been alive, yes, which basically eliminates certain words from showing for other people. Now, I could say a perfectly innocent phrase like, say, penguins at work, and everyone in the room will be able to see that message. That's totally fine. However, if I say a word like hate, a word that could be deemed as offensive by others, then that will not show. And the reason that will not show for anyone else, it'll show for me, obviously, because you can see it on my screen, but it won't show for anyone else. And the reason for that is because it is considered an offensive word, and it will not pass the filter. Now, there are a lot of situations like the one I just demonstrated in which, a word like hate is not a word you really want to be hearing on a kid's game, so I can understand why you would want to filter that. But then there's a lot of other words that are the opposite. They don't make any sense to me, and I don't understand why you would want to filter them. A few examples are the word club. We are literally playing a game called Club Penguin. You should be able to use the word club, but for whatever reason, that word is filtered. Does not make it past the filter. Another word would be 9. Oddly enough, this does not make it past the filter, even though every other number does, but 9 strangely does not. So, yeah, there's a few examples for you of random words that don't make it past the censor. A common workaround you can do, incidentally, is you can replace one of the letters, ideally a vowel, because it will make the word easier to understand, with an X. And this is something that people do a lot of. The word death is a filtered word which does not make it through, so you can just do something like that, and that will probably make it through. It might not, I don't know if that particular version does, but it's generally a habit you can get into, replacing certain words with X to sort of work around the filter. So that is one thing you can do, and that's sort of common knowledge around the Society of Club Penguin. However, there is another little trick, which is the reason I made this video. It will not allow you to work around the filter in the same way. It will not allow, this trick I'm going to show you will not allow you to force anything past the filter that would not otherwise go past the filter naturally. However, it will enable you to know whether or not something that you have said will be seen by other people in the room. And that's the whole point of the trick. So what you can do is you right click, go inspect, and you're going to see some tabs up here, elements, console, sources, network. Tab you want to go to is console, this one here. Now I'm going to go to a room that's more empty so that I can demonstrate this trick to you more easily. Now every time something happens within a room, one of these green messages pops up in console. If I click on a part of the screen and my penguin moves there, you'll see a cyan message and a green message. Same thing goes for if I say something. Now, if I say an innocent phrase like penguins at work, which does pass the filter and can successfully be heard by other people in the room, then we see the cyan message here, which is me attempting to say the message. That's what this represents. And the green thing represents the message successfully coming through and the message successfully being communicated to everyone in the room. So that's fine. Penguins at work comes through and everyone can see it. But let's take the word hate, for example. Then here you can see that the cyan message of me attempting to say the word has indeed come through, but the green message below it, which should be, like I said before, the confirmation that everyone in the room has seen it, does not show. Therefore, that is how you know that the word hate was not shown. I can demonstrate this with other words like the ones I mentioned earlier as well. So I mentioned the word club, put it through, same thing here. The green part, the green message that I mentioned earlier, that is the confirmation that other people saw it, does not appear. Same goes for the word 9. However, if I do my little workarounds that I showed you earlier, which is not my workarounds, that's a common Club Penguin thing, but regardless, NXNE to work around the filter, sure enough, as you can see, that works. It comes through. The word death does not come through, but if you replace the vowels with X's, it does come through. So this is a convenient way, well, a somewhat convenient way to be able to tell whether or not something you have said has come through to the rest of the room. Now, there are two problems with this method. It's not perfect. There are two problems with it. First problem is that you have to shrink your Club Penguin window in order to be able to see it, which is less than ideal. The second problem is when you're in a room with a lot of people, there's going to be a lot of different things happening. There's going to be a lot of different green things popping up in the console mode. I'll show you an example of this. If we go into the town center, I'm currently on Blizzard, which is a populated server, so there's going to be a lot of stuff happening. As you can see, there's stuff happening almost constantly. There's people saying things, there's people clicking, there's people changing their clothes. All this stuff does register as a green thing on here, and I'm aware that me saying green thing makes me look like a bit of an idiot, but I'm not computer savvy, so this is the word I'm using. So yeah, basically that's the second problem, is that like if you want to use this system to see whether or not a message has come through, then finding it among all the other chaos of all the other things going on in that room can be a bit of a challenge. So I put it through there, and if we freeze at this particular moment, you can see that the message has come through. You just sort of got develop a bit of an eye for it. I froze the frame there so you could see it, but in reality, in a moment-to-moment basis, you would have to sort of see it with your eyes. So it can sometimes be a little bit challenging. So for those two reasons, it's not perfect. If anyone knows of a better method that is more convenient and more user-friendly than the one I've just shown you, then feel free to post a comment linking me to such a video explaining like the one I've just done here, or alternatively writing it out in the comment. I don't really care. So hopefully this should help you communicate with those on Club Penguin Rewritten a bit more efficiently and effectively. Thank you for watching, and hope this helps.